So today, welcome. This session is focused on giving you 3 of the mindset shifts I had to make to lose 5 stone and sustain my weight loss. Okay, so everything I'm sharing with you is completely and utterly based on experience. I haven't always been in shape or comfortable and happy with my body image. This is something that I've really had to work on over the years. So I'm talking to you from a place of experience of a woman that knows how it feels to be stuck in your body and really, really held back in your life, where you can't just go out and wear what you want to wear, and you can't feel this deep-rooted confidence that you see other people feel, and you wonder why. Okay, so I get it and I understand it, and these 3 mindset shifts that I made changed my life, and they enabled me to generate results and lose weight, which is amazing. But they most importantly allowed me to actually sustain my results. And what is the point of getting these results if you cannot sustain them? Okay, there's no point. And you can generate results that you can sustain. Yo-yo dieting is something of the past, okay? So listen in on these mindset shifts. I cannot wait to share them with you. They're going to be so powerful for you as well to put into action. And they're truly going to change your life just like they changed mine. Now, if you've got any questions through the session, please let me know. That would be absolutely great for people that are with me live. If you're obviously listening on record, you can reach me on all my social media platforms and ask me any questions you might have related to today's session. So, okay, let's get started. So, one of the biggest issues I had was I was so fearful of my past with being healthy and exercising. So, I wasn't very good at school. I wasn't very good in my PE. I never came first. And, I always felt uncomfortable in my school PE kit all the time. And anything related to exercise in my younger years, I was really bad at. So it's no surprise that when I got a little bit older and the option of actually having a healthy, balanced life, which did include some exercise, was so fearful for me, because throughout my childhood, I was so rubbish at it that I associated, having a balanced life with health and fitness as something that was going to be really hard work. It was going to be really painful, and I was going to be really bad at it. So no wonder I didn't want to do it. So I had to really open my eyes to the fact that exercise does not have to be a repeat of PE back at school or coming last on the cross-country race. Okay, exercise doesn't have to be like that. And there are so many more options to actually fall in love with exercise and actually enjoy it. But unfortunately, up to this point, I hadn't had that enjoyment factor. So I had to really detach from everything that happened in my life, in my childhood and my teens, that was interlinked with exercise that didn't go very well. I had to say to myself, right, write that off. That is not a reflection of you or how incapable you are of exercising. Okay, that's just because you went through a school curriculum of exercise that didn't really work for you, and it never really took off for you. But don't worry, you can try something new, and your adult life does not have to be a reflection of your childhood. Okay, so that was one of the first things that I did, because I'll be honest, they probably, they're present now when I was thinking about what to deliver for you on this session. And I think back at sports day, and I'd never, ever, ever get picked. I'd never get picked for sports day teams ever. So it's things like that are deep rooted inside of you, and that sense of an emotion of rejection, and then it just puts you off exploring your options as you get older, and that's really sad. So if you can think of anything, and it doesn't just have to be exercise related, right? It can be interlinked with nutrition or any experiences you had with food when you were younger. Think about anything in your past when you were growing up that really did emotionally have an effect on you. And the reality is, we can change that as we get older, which is one of the most amazing things. So I just wrote a message. It's common sense. Keep imaging the outfit you would like to wear and get emotionally involved. Absolutely, 100%. But also going back and acknowledging emotions that affected you in a negative way and how they may be holding you back. You know, that's something we must do, because my childhood did hold me back as I got into my late teens, 100%. So next up, number 2. Okay, so first point, if you've got pen to paper to hand, think about anything that happened in your childhood that really is affecting you when it comes to being positive and feeling encouraged to get into exercise or support exploring healthy food options. Please write some of those emotions down or moments down in your childhood so you can get them onto paper and think about really freeing yourself from those emotions. So number 2, okay, so one of the biggest mindset shifts here is I realised, and I had to realise the hard way, was the transformation was very much about me and nobody else. You know, the weight loss wasn't for everybody else, it was for me. And I think initially when I started the journey, or when I started sort of yo-yo dieting, it was always this sort of attempt to lose weight so, you know, I could be confident and attractive for everybody else, you know. And I think I lost sight of that initially at the beginning, and it became very clear to me. A few things happened to me when I was, you know, trying to really sort myself out. So I was at the gym once, and I was on the treadmill, and that was a big step initially at that point to even go to the gym, because putting gym gear on, it was tight, it was fitted. That was hard, and it's, you know, solely just that alone was difficult. You know, I had big boobs at the time. I was 5 stone heavier than I am now, so I had big boobs, and I had to wear a really, you know, supportive bra, which gave me all the, you know, the fat over the top. And at the time, you know, I wasn't accepting of that. I was very upset about that. So going to the gym was a big thing. Anyway, I got to the gym and I was on the treadmill, and a guy at the gym said, like, I can't even say on live really because it's so rude, but you're just a fat cunt on a treadmill, and like laughed with all of his friends. And I was so broken at that point. And I realized, you know, to succeed at this, it's going to have to be for me and nobody else, because people can literally get you at any point in your life and attempt to take you from feeling great to right on the floor. No matter how hard you're trying to change your life, there will always be somebody that really tries to dampen your success. And that moment there was a test for me. It was a test. Was I going to leave the gym and never come back? Yes, it hurt so much at the time, and it hurt for a very long time, actually. But it was a great test, and it made me realize that the journey has to be for you as an individual, you as a person, and you've got to do it for you internally. And if you've got that commitment to yourself and nobody else, you are so immensely strong and powerful to keep showing up and keep succeeding with your journey, okay? Because you absolutely can do it. The second situation for me was a journalist wrote an article about me once, and before I knew it, I literally walked out of the gym, and I was in all the papers, and then I got exposed to all the comments that were made about this article, and I had people from all over the world telling me that I looked great when I was 5 stone heavier, and I looked horrible when I now, you know, my newfound, you know, confident weight. And then I had someone say something awful, and leading up to this session today, I was like, should I really say what got written on the comments on you know, live exposed? But I am going to say, because it's important, I think, that we, you know, we all listen in here. But I read down the comments, and a man said, if I bet that after basically losing all the weight, I bet that her private bits, I'm not going to say the word he said, looks like a punched lasagna. And I thought, this is just the reality of the world that we do live in. And finding that contentment and confidence within yourself is one of the most powerful weapons that you can absolutely focus on. So regardless of what size you are or where you're at in your journey, we have to do it for ourselves, okay? So I want you to really think about, what do you want? You know, what do you want in regards to going through this journey? What freedom do you want? How is it going to enable you to feel fantastic and free and confident? And how is that going to change your life? Not anybody else's, just your life. And I suppose interlinked with that, I've just shared with you two scenarios that weren't overly pleasurable for me throughout the journey. Now, there will be scenarios that happen to you in your journey that aren't very enjoyable, and they hurt. They really hurt. And they don't just hurt on the surface, they hurt deep down inside of you. Like when that man made that comment about me on the treadmill, and I was trying so hard at that point, you know, that hurt. That really, really hurt, okay? So if something, I obviously would love for you to not have any pain or hurt, of course, but if something crops up and it does hurt and it's painful, okay, I want you to think back to this session that you've listened to and to go, it's cool. Emily said this might happen, but I'm not going to let this take me off my path. I'm not going to let it interfere with my goal. I'm going to keep my head looking forward, and remember, I am doing this for myself, not anybody else, and I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on going, okay? So sharing these stories, I hope this enables you to know that, you know, pain can be inflicted from any area in your life, from any angle, at any point, and we have to just be aligned to remembering that this is absolutely worth it and completely just worth it for you as a person. Now, next up, my third mindset shift that I absolutely had to make, and this is one of the biggest, okay? So I had to make a decision between old identity and new identity. And I had to stop going in between the two. So what would tend to happen before is I'd start dieting. I'd maybe see some quick results because I've done something very aggressive, like, you know, living off barely any calories. Then it would maybe like slow down, and then I would like detach from my identity and my new identity and go and have a pizza and drink loads of wine and self-sabotage myself. And I would do all of those things, and I would accept and allow myself to go back to my old identity. And I'd sit there and I'd be like, well, you know, whatever, I'm so used to being this Emily that has all the food and everything. So what I had to learn to do was sit in my new identity and accept that sometimes it didn't go how I wanted it to go, but I stayed present. So maybe I was in my new identity and I ended up having a pizza and a few glasses of wine. Now, instead of just detaching from who I wanted to be, I said, okay, I'm still in my new identity here, but I just had a little bit of a different direction this weekend. But I'm confident, I'm happy, I'm in my new identity, and this is part of the journey of getting from A to B. You know, it's not going to be plain sailing. And this is just part of Emily learning and Emily changing her ways. But to change and to get from A to B, of course, we have to have experiences that enable us to learn. So the pizzas and the wines, they enable me to learn that actually my body doesn't really like, you know, lots of food. And, you know, I was someone that was like a full bar of Galaxy, lots of, you know, I would go all in on lots of foods, and that was, you know, that was how I coped with my life when I was emotionally happy or emotionally sad. But I stayed present and I stayed bought into who I wanted to be, and I accepted that these moments were part of my journey. I didn't allow them to be moments that took me away from who I wanted to be. So if you're going through your journey and, you know, you're making great progress, and perhaps something happens in your life and you end up making a different decision with food, or you skip a training session, whatever that might be, that's part of your new identity, okay? It's just a learning experience. And it's what you do with that determines your success, but most importantly, your sustainability. Because we have to live in the present in your new identity majority of your life to be able to sustain these results. Okay, it isn't a okay, that's me who I used to be and that's who I am now, and I go between the two, because that's yo-yo dieting and that's weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss. And of course there's lots of things that come into play when we're trying to look for sustainable weight loss. Of course, when we're looking at, how you actually lose the weight, and the rate you lose the weight and your hormonal function, and all of those things are really important, of course. But your mindset is the most important, okay? And we have to crack it. So being open and happy that sometimes it doesn't all go to plan, and it's absolutely a learning opportunity. And it's been great, actually. I had a client on Monday. She has lots of social events at the weekend, and she had more champagne than she wanted to, more wine than she wanted to. She met me on Monday morning for our video accountability check-in, and she said, "It's amazing, Emily. I know now. I've seen the light, and today, I know that I'm just going to get back to my structure." And actually, that it didn't make me feel great, but it was a great learning experience. We really turned it around, and instead of her self-sabotaging herself on that Monday morning and associating that weekend as a negative behaviour or something she did wrong, it was like, no, you had a lovely weekend, you drank some lovely champagne, you had some amazing memories, and it's part of your new identity. It's part of who you are now, and it's okay to occasionally do those bits, but it's the decision we make on the Monday morning that really determines great success moving forward. So what does your new identity look like? And I think, this is a huge one here, because I'll be open and honest. I wanted to have a nice partner. I want to have a lovely partner. I wanted to be able to buy whatever clothes I wanted, not the clothes that covered up my body. I wanted to have nice things in my life. I wanted to, I wanted to look healthy. I wanted to have healthy skin, healthy hair. I wanted to feel healthy and energized and vibrant. And I really, really visualized that for my new identity. So I ask you today, okay, I ask you obviously on the first mindset shift to identify anything from your past that you feel is creating fear in you to step into this new identity. So anything interlinked with, any exercise, humiliation that you feel happened to you when you were younger, that's what happened to me. Anything interlinked with food as you were growing up, any conditioning from your parents that you feel isn't serving you, anything, get that onto paper. And then your next task is to absolutely map out, what does your new identity look like, okay? Paint that picture for me. Give me detail of what that picture looks like. And from someone that has been there and, gone from where I was to losing the 5 stone and sustaining the results, there is nothing special about me, okay? Nothing. I am very much the same lady as you. I have the same opportunities, chances. So I will be here and I will share this message as much as you need to hear it, because if you want to create a different life where you do have confidence and you are happy and you're balanced, you can have that. And that's my biggest message to you today. You can absolutely have it. So if obviously today it's been a big open chat, and these are just 3 of the mindset shifts. There's so many, and I found it so hard to pick 3 because there is so many. But if you have a specific issue or you're feeling really held back, I would love to talk to you one-to-one and really identify what mindset shifts have held, or what mindset you're stuck in right now, like what's limiting you right now. So please do feel free to reach me on one-to-one, but hopefully I can continue to share some more mindset shifts, absolutely. And hopefully these 3 were super relatable today. And of course, any questions, pop them in comments or reach me directly in inbox, and I'd love to chat with you. It has been so nice to be with you today, and I will catch you soon.